Everyone thought the rich man had everything: a beautiful mansion, cars, and servants at his beacon. But were they wrong? His name was Edwin, a man whose wealth could buy cities, yet whose nights were filled with silence. What if the very thing people envied was the reason his life felt empty? Subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and always drop us a comment on what you think about our stories. And of course, if you are enjoying our stories, show us love by sharing them. Now let's dive into our story. Every morning, Edwin woke up in a mansion too large to feel warm. His walls were decorated with success, but his heart feeling an emptiness he could not explain. No laughter, no peace, just meetings and endless ambitions. Not far from his grand estate lived a poor farmer in a small, worn-out house. He owned almost nothing: no wealth, no status, no influence. But every evening, laughter and songs came from his home. You'll see him smiling, humming, and laughing with his children. And for the first time in Edwin's life, he felt something unfamiliar: envy. The farmer's name was Samuel. His clothes were worn, his house small, yet joy and happiness followed him like a shadow. Edwin watched every day as Samuel shared food with neighbors, laughed freely, and slept under the stars without worry. He admired the peace and happiness Samuel had.
How can someone this poor with nothing have so much peace?
Edwin muttered. That question began haunting him more than unpaid bills ever could. That night, Edwin couldn't sleep. He stared at his ceiling and whispered,
I would give anything to live like him, even if it's just for one day.
Of course, the walls have ears. Someone was listening. At midnight, a knock echoed through Edwin's mansion. Standing at the door was an old man with eyes deeper than time, leaning on a stick. He smiled knowingly.
I hear you wish for another life,
the man said calmly. Edwin froze. He hadn't told anyone his thoughts.
You one day in the farmer's life, but remember, once chosen, there's no turning back until sunset,
the old man continued. Edwin agreed without hesitation, unaware of the cost behind the gift. The next morning, Edwin woke up on a wooden bed. No silk sheets, no servants, no mansion. His hands were rough, his stomach growled. Outside, children called him father. A woman smiled at him warmly. Confusion struck like thunder. He was Samuel. Before he could ask questions, the sun rose high and Edwin realized the truth. This was not a dream. He had entered the life he envied, but could he survive it? Edwin worked the farm all day under the scorching sun. His back ached, his hands had blisters, and hunger followed him. This was no peaceful fantasy at all. But something strange happened. At midday, Samuel's children came and hugged him. His wife offered him food made with love, not as an obligation. The exhaustion felt meaningful. As night fell, Edwin noticed something missing: his fear. For the first time, he felt tired but fulfilled, and that realization scared him more than poverty ever had. That evening, the family gathered around a fire, laughing and sharing stories. No phones, no deadlines, just presence. Edwin felt a warmth no amount of money had ever given him. He realized Samuel's wealth wasn't money. It was connection with his family, and Edwin had been bankrupt all along. But as the sun began to set, panic crept in.
What if I don't want to go back to my former life? What if this life was the one I was meant to live?
As the sky turned orange, the old man appeared again.
Sunset ends the bargain, Edward, so choose wisely.
Edwin looked at the family he had grown to love in one day. Leaving them felt like tearing his soul apart. The sun dipped lower. Edwin had only seconds left, and in that moment he understood. Peace wasn't found by escaping life, but by changing how one lived it. The next day, Edwin woke up in his mansion again. Silence greeted him as usual, but something inside him had changed. He rushed to the balcony. the farmer's house was still there. Samuel was still smiling, and life continued. Edwin fell to his knees, not in despair, but gratitude. He had seen the truth, and now he had a responsibility. Edwin began visiting Samuel, not as a rich man, but as a friend. He helped the villagers, shared meals, listened, and laughed. He changed his businesses to serve people, not just profit. His mansion became a place of warmth, not emptiness. Slowly, Edwin's life was filled with something money could never purchase, which is meaning. Years later, Edwin was known as the happiest man in the city, not the richest. When asked how, he always smiled.
I learned that wealth without happiness is poverty, and true happiness doesn't come from what you own, but who you love.
Indeed, true wealth is not measured by what you own, but the peace and happiness within your heart. Happiness is free, so in any situation you find yourself, try as much as possible to live a happy life always. Thank you for watching.